I bought the frame at the same time. This one I struggled with because whatever the conversion was for the letters and the letters got lost in the grass. I ended up taking various things out in that lawn a couple times. And of course, because of the reflection, it's not showing up all that well. But it does. It's nice. This one probably has the most color variation, like that house, the grass, the leaves on the daffodils. So I personally, if I was going to stitch these again, I wouldn't worry about using the overdyed floss because the pictures are sweet enough. Oh, there's a cat here. Sweet enough without bothering to buy the expensive overdyed fibers and that kind of stuff. So anyway, those are pretty. I did those over the course of 2008, 9, and 10, actually, are the dates on all of them. So, and then the other one I did, I had to borrow this pattern. This is Christmas Village, which is book number 79. My friend loaned it to me, and I just love it, love it, love it. I like anything Christmas and then add to it Prairie Schooler. This one, I really enjoyed stitching this one, and my friend said, "Oh, how could you stand doing all those those trees and all that?" So what I did was I would stitch 10 trees and then do a house, and then go back and do 10 items in the sky, whether it be the reindeer, the geese, or the trees, and that really broke it up. It made it feel like it wasn't such a chore. And the houses are the same. The trees are the same. So if you got the rhythm of the stitches, then you could just roll right through it. I love the detail in the houses, the greens. What else was on there? The wreaths, the trees, the sleigh. This is just one of the prettiest Prairie Schooler pieces there is. So it was delightful to stitch. And so, like I said, I don't own this pattern. I borrowed it. So I feeling like, because I borrowed it, I felt like I really had to stitch it up, get it done, get the pattern back, because these are precious, these patterns. So I worked this one up. When did I do this one? In 2012. So as I dug through my Prairie Schoolers to find the patterns, so that I would have the patterns and the numbers to show you. There's so many I want to stitch next. Next, now and next. Immediately, pull it out. I feel like I'd like to always have a Prairie Schooler piece going. I currently have pulled out kind of too many patterns to always have a Prairie Schooler going, but you never know. I might start one and put it in a project bag. I actually have a Prairie Schooler in a project bag that there's no stitches on. There's a piece of fabric, a pattern, and some thread, and that's the extent of it. It's another Christmas one or winter. It's a winter one. So we'll see. We'll see if I actually start that and it becomes a whip that anybody cares to see. So that's what's going on right here and now. I purchased... I really, most of the time I'm not going to show what I bought when I bought it because, whatever, unless there's any kind of interest or uniqueness or it was a fabulous find or something worth mentioning. But when I order some fabric or something and order a few patterns, I don't know. I did not spend a lot of time on my blog doing that kind of thing. I probably won't do it here. But I did. Oh my gosh. I would have seen this. I would have loved it. So I'm not blaming it on Vanna, but Vanna was the first one I saw show it. That Independence Hall, that's a market release. When I saw that, immediately I had to go look at the pattern, and I fell in love with it, and I fell hard. I'm telling you, I'm not a sampler stitcher really, where there's. That one did it though, and I couldn't stop looking at it, couldn't stop. My friend who says I say she tried to talk me out of it. She said, I didn't try to talk you out of it, but she pointed out that Independence Hall is 300 stitches wide. That's really big. So she said she would be in the loony bin if she was stitching it. I don't know. I might end up in the loony bin. And then Michelle Rudy made a mention of it, and I understand Ginger Gerald is stitching it or going to stitch it. So, but even when I was in Florida and I couldn't stop thinking about it, I was thinking, what would I stitch it on? What would I do? There's a cat here, a different cat. And I thought, well, maybe it won't seem so enormous if I can stitch it on like a 36 count linen. But I have a hard time seeing things like that. sorry, there is a cat here now, and he's standing on stitching. So, this is Cooper. Cooper's very friendly, very, very, very friendly. Come here. Can you say hi? He won't last. Now that I want him to do something, he won't last. This is the little boy. This is the little of the two. So anyway, he's gone. So anyway, I was obsessing about that. I really don't like to stitch on linen. I like even weave. It's just easier for me, and I can stitch a lot faster. So I went to ABC Stitch. I went to 123 Stitch, sorry. And I ordered pieces of linen, like just the smallest cut I could of like 5 different linens, like Lakeside linen and R&R and Zweigart and all that, so that I could test them and see how well could I see on 36 count. And so I'm going to stitch some little things hopefully soon on those, or a couple of those. I think that the Picture This Plus is the winner for how it feels. How it stitches is another thing. And then the other day I ordered from Down Sunshine Lane, I ordered Independence Hall, so it's not here yet. It'll probably be, she shipped it, I ordered it yesterday, she shipped it yesterday, so it'll be here in the next couple days. So I jokingly told my friend I was going to open the package on Flosstube so she could see my face when I saw really the magnitude of that pattern. So we'll see, it'll be fun if other people are stitching it, and when other people are stitching it, I'll get I won't be able to be left behind. I won't. I'll have to work on it. So I'll have to try to keep up. Or if there's a stitch along, or if there's one, I don't know. If there's a stitch along, I'll be joining it. I don't do Facebook. I jokingly say I'm in the witness protection program, but that's not true. Facebook just doesn't do it for me. Not even a tiny bit. So I understand it's a social community and all that, but I worked in a different field, and you didn't put your name out there in a lot of ways, and Facebook was not happening. So anyway, so if there's a stitch along, I'll be like the ghost stitcher in the background somewhere that is working on it, and you'll have to come to Flosstube to see how it's coming. So anyhow, I'm happy to be home, even though it's snowing, and it's snowing sideways. It's like that kind of day, and it's going to be bitter, bitter, bitter cold. But I have corned beef in the crock pot. I made a lemon surprise cake from a recipe from Mommy's Kitchen. If that's a blog, I've followed it for years. Mommy's Kitchen. Google it. It's one of her, I think the latest post with a recipe was this cake. It's a bundt cake, and it has lemon and filling. So that's just out of the oven. My husband's Irish, so we always have corned beef for St. Patrick's Day or thereabouts, and my one daughter's home from school till Sunday, so we'll have it while she's home, and my oldest daughter will hopefully come home for dinner, and my son could care less, so he won't be home for dinner tonight to partake in a corned beef dinner. So my house smells good. I only maybe have to go to the library later to pick up a book that's coming in. My book club, I don't know, it'll be a surprise what book they chose, because we couldn't decide when we were there the other day. So whatever, I didn't care. They all looked like something I'd read. So we'll see. It's a good day to sew, stay home and sew, stitch, have a dinner in the crock pot, a cake cooling on the on top of the stove. So happy March 10th. Did I say that? I haven't been saying the date. I don't know why, but when I watch other people's videos, I'm like, when was this from? So I'll get better about that. Partly it takes me so long to get the darn thing uploaded that but yeah, what can I say? March 10th, Friday, snowing, cold, upstate New York. So anyway, happy Friday. Bye.